Long before the classical age of Greece, before the Parthenon rose over Athens, or the philosophers pondered life's great questions, there flourished a remarkable civilization on the sun-drenched island of Crete. This was the Minoan Civilization, a culture so advanced and mysterious that echoes of its achievements and enigmas still captivate historians, archaeologists, and curious minds today. To understand the Minoans is to peer into the dawn of European civilization, to glimpse a society whose influence would ripple across the ancient world. The story of the Minoans begins around 3000 BCE, when the first settlers arrived on Crete, drawn by its fertile lands and strategic position in the Mediterranean. Over the next centuries, these early people developed into a sophisticated urban society, reaching their zenith between 2000 and 1450 BCE. The Minoans are named after the legendary King Minos, a figure shrouded in myth, said to have ruled from the Grand Palace at Knossos, and presided over a labyrinth that housed the monstrous Minotaur. Yet, beyond the myths, the real achievements of the Minoans are no less extraordinary. At the heart of Minoan civilization were its palaces, vast and intricate complexes that served as centers of administration, religion, and commerce. The most famous of these is Knossos, sprawling over 6 acres and boasting hundreds of rooms, elaborate frescoes, and advanced engineering, including some of the earliest known plumbing systems. Other palaces, such as Phaistos, Malia, and Zakros, dotted the Cretan landscape, each a testament to the organizational prowess and aesthetic sensibilities of the Minoans. The Minoans were master builders and artisans. Their architecture favored light, open spaces, and a harmonious relationship with the natural world. Walls were adorned with vibrant frescoes depicting scenes of daily life, religious rituals, and the lush landscapes of Crete. Images of dolphins leaping through azure waters, young athletes somersaulting over bulls, and women in flowing skirts participating in ceremonies. Their pottery, too, was exquisite, featuring intricate designs and motifs inspired by the sea and nature. Trade was the lifeblood of Minoan society. Situated at a crossroads between Europe, Africa, and Asia, Crete became a hub of maritime commerce. Minoan ships sailed far and wide, exchanging goods such as olive oil, wine, pottery, and textiles for metals, ivory, and luxury items from Egypt, the Near East, and beyond. This trade not only enriched the Minoans, but also facilitated cultural exchange, bringing new ideas, technologies, and artistic influences to their shores. The Minoans developed a system of writing, known as Linear A, which remains undeciphered to this day. It was used primarily for administrative and religious purposes, hinting at a complex bureaucracy and a society deeply engaged in ritual and record-keeping. Later, a related script called Linear B would be adopted by the Mycenaeans, the mainland Greeks, who would ultimately succeed the Minoans. Religion played a central role in Minoan life, though much about their beliefs remains enigmatic. Archaeological evidence suggests a pantheon of deities, with a particular reverence for goddesses associated with fertility, nature, and animals. The so-called snake goddess figurines, with their outstretched arms and serpents coiled around them, embody the Minoans' fascination with the mysteries of life and death. Sacred symbols such as the double axe, or labrys, and the horns of consecration recur throughout Minoan art and architecture, hinting at rituals held in palaces, caves, and mountain sanctuaries. One of the most striking aspects of Minoan society was the apparent prominence of women. Frescoes and figurines depict women participating in religious ceremonies, athletic events, and even holding positions of authority. Whether this reflects a matriarchal society or simply a high degree of gender equality is still debated, but it sets the Minoans apart from many of their contemporaries. Minoan society appears to have been relatively peaceful, at least for much of its history. Unlike the heavily fortified cities of the mainland Greeks, Minoan palaces were largely unfortified, suggesting a sense of security and stability. Their art, too, is notable for its lack of warlike themes, focusing instead on nature, festivity, and religious ritual. This has led some scholars to describe the Minoans as a palace economy, where wealth and power were concentrated in the hands of palace elites, who managed resources and oversaw the distribution of goods. Yet, no civilization is without its challenges. The Minoans were not immune to the forces of nature. Crete lies in a seismically active region, and evidence of earthquakes is found throughout Minoan sites. Around 1600 BCE, a cataclysmic event shook the ancient world: the eruption of the volcano on the nearby island of Thera, now known as Santorini. This explosion was one of the most powerful in recorded history, sending ash clouds across the eastern Mediterranean, triggering tsunamis, and causing widespread destruction. Some scholars believe this disaster severely weakened the Minoans, disrupting their society and opening the door to outside invaders. In the wake of these calamities, the Minoans faced increasing pressure from the rising Mycenaean civilization on the Greek mainland. By around 1450 BCE, the palaces of Crete were destroyed or abandoned, and the Minoan way of life faded into history. The Mycenaeans took over many of the Minoan sites, adopting aspects of their culture, art, and religion. But the unique spirit of the Minoans was never fully revived. Despite their decline, the legacy of the Minoans endured. Their innovations in architecture, art, and commerce influenced later Greek civilization and, by extension, the broader development of Western culture. The myths of Minos and the Minotaur, of Daedalus and Icarus, preserved in Greek literature, are echoes of a lost world that once flourished in the heart of the Mediterranean. The rediscovery of the Minoan civilization is a story in itself. For centuries, the ruins of Knossos and other sites lay buried beneath the Cretan soil, their secrets forgotten. In the early 20th century, the British archaeologist Sir Arthur Evans began excavations at Knossos, unearthing the Grand Palace and coining the term Minoan to describe the culture he found. Evans's discoveries captured the imagination of the world, revealing a civilization of dazzling artistry and complexity. Today, the study of the Minoans continues to evolve. Advances in archaeology, DNA analysis, and other scientific techniques shed new light on their origins, society, and interactions with neighboring cultures. Yet, many questions remain. What language did the Minoans speak? What were the exact nature and structure of their religious beliefs? How did their society function on a day-to-day basis? The mysteries of the Minoans continue to inspire exploration and debate. To appreciate the Minoan civilization is to recognize the richness and diversity of human history. Here was a people who, thousands of years ago, built palaces of stone and plaster, sailed the seas in search of adventure and prosperity, and adorned their world with art of breathtaking beauty. They cultivated the land, worshipped their gods, and left behind a legacy that still stirs the imagination. The Minoans remind us that history is not a straight line, but a tapestry woven from countless threads of triumph and tragedy, innovation and tradition, memory and myth. Their story is a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and the endless quest to understand our past. As we reflect on the Minoan civilization, it is worth considering the lessons they offer. Their society thrived through trade and openness, embracing new ideas and forging connections across cultures. Their art and architecture reveal a deep appreciation for beauty, nature, and the joys of life. At the same time, their fate warns of the fragility of even the most advanced societies, vulnerable to the forces of nature and the tides of history. The island of Crete, with its rugged mountains and gentle shores, remains a place where the spirit of the Minoans lingers. Visitors can still walk among the ruins of Knossos, imagine the bustling life of the ancient palaces, and marvel at the artistry of Minoan frescoes and pottery. The echoes of their songs, the rhythm of their dances, and the mysteries of their rituals continue to captivate all who seek to understand the origins of European civilization. In the end, the Minoan civilization stands as one of the great achievements of the ancient world, a beacon of creativity, resilience, and wonder, shining across the millennia. Their story invites us to look beyond the familiar contours of history, to explore the forgotten corners of the past, and to celebrate the enduring capacity of humanity to dream, create, and aspire. As we journey through the annals of time, the Minoans remind us that every civilization, no matter how distant or enigmatic, has something to teach us about ourselves, our world, and the endless possibilities of the human spirit. Their legacy endures not only in the ruins they left behind, but in the questions they inspire and the dreams they awaken in all who seek to know the story of our shared past. So, as we reflect on the Minoan civilization, let us remember that history is not merely a record of dates and events, but a living tapestry of human experience. A story that continues to unfold, shaped by the discoveries we make and the questions we dare to ask. The Minoans, with their palaces, their art, and their mysteries, remain a vital thread in that tapestry, inviting us to explore, to wonder, and to seek understanding in the ever-unfolding journey of humanity.